Hello, this is Bob Joyner, and in this video we're going to be looking at the differences between trading SPY options and trading ES futures contracts. To explain a little bit about this video and the basis for this video, I have been trading SPY options for several years now, and off and on, but pretty steadily now for the past 2-3 years. And I was curious about S&P 500 futures. I'd never traded futures before. I've traded Forex, traded options, traded stocks, but I never traded futures before. So I was kind of curious, is there a big difference between the two? Or the chart the same? I always thought, as many people do, that futures is a very complicated thing. So I went into this as kind of an experiment, and I wanted to share the results and my findings with you. So some of the questions I had going into the experiment was, how do futures charts compare to SPY charts? Is there a lag between the charts? Like, is there a slight edge to the S&P 500 futures charts that would give you a little edge over the SPY charts? Also, I was wondering, since I have a system for trading SPY options, would that same system of trading SPY options also work for trading the ES futures? Another question I had. And then once I got into it, would I have one that I preferred over the other? So I don't know what your situation is. You may not be trading either the SPY options or the futures at all, either one, which is fine. So this may be a little bit interesting to you. You may be trading one but not the other, and may be wondering, what the benefits are for the other. So I'm going to give you my opinions. I'm going to go through kind of a watch list here, or a checklist of different things, and show you what my findings were. And I didn't know going into this, was it going to be, a boxing match, a smackdown type thing, or are actually SPY options and ES futures kind of both two sides of the same coin sort of thing? So those were my questions going into it. So I'll go ahead and give you some results here. Regarding chart structure and support and resistance, I thought that the futures charts might be a little bit strange or something. SPY charts, pretty easy to understand to me, support and resistance, that sort of thing. But what I came to find out was that there really was not much difference at all between the two charts. In fact, what I currently do is I trade scalp primarily, but I do day trade both SPY options and ES futures, and I tend to scalp more the ES futures. But the chart structure was one of my key questions, and I found out that they're actually quite similar. Okay, that I can use the SPY chart and actually trade the futures off of that SPY chart, which is kind of weird to think about. I didn't think that would happen at all, but thankfully it did happen. So both options and futures, to me, kind of a draw on that one. Both of them are good, solid charts for either one there. Ease of scaling. That means how easily can you add to the trades, how easily can you ramp up your trading if you become good at one or the other. And again, kind of a tie on this one, because both of them are so easy to trade in terms of adding contracts, adding expiration dates, whatever it is you're looking at, whichever one you're trading. Even draw on that one. For capital required, I have to say that it's easier for options, because you can get started with an options account pretty cheaply. You can get started with a futures account pretty cheaply too, but because of the amount of volatility that can happen in the futures charts, I think for a beginning trader, I really think that trading the SPY options is simpler, more straightforward, and less risk involved. Has less capital requirement in the beginning to get started in a decent way. So I kind of favor options on that one. Of course, you're free to disagree with any of these opinions that I might have. I'm just telling you what I have found, what I've discovered, and what might help you. So that's 3 criteria right there. We're kind of leaning towards futures so far. Next category is after hours trading. Again, I have to give the vote to futures there, because futures trading is, it's a 24-hour market basically, 5 days a week. And options, you're more trading in the when the market's live. Day trading rules, again, futures wins out, because there are no day trading rules for futures trading. With options trading, yes, you can trade daily with a cash account, for example, with a small options account, but you're going to have to let the dust settle, let that transaction settle for a day before you can use that money the next day. Whereas with futures trading, that money hits and you can use that money immediately to make more money with, essentially. For tax purposes, there is an advantage again to trading futures. I would say that's not a big consideration unless you're talking about quite a bit of money. Regarding leverage, both of them have great leverage. If you're not trading either one, then you're not seeing the kind of explosive gains that are possible with futures and options, and that's why I would highly recommend you looking at least one of them and learning how to trade at least one of them. Other criteria: access to outside investors. To my knowledge, I don't know of any funded account, for example with prop trading, that allows you to trade SPY options. If you know of one, please type it in the comments below this video. And if you have a preference on these two, or feel like I've missed out something, please feel free to post that in the comments below, since I'm just basing this on my own experience here. But access to outside investors, with futures trading, of course, you have proprietary trading funds that will allow you to trade futures contracts, and I've got a video on that called prop trading if you want to check out. I've got a link, I think, at the end of this video for that. Time decay. Again, with options, you're going to have time decay. So, for example, if you have a flat market and you buy an option traders already know this, but you're going to have time decay. You're going to have the value of that option decline over time if the market's flat. Now with futures trading, you can be flat and you're not going to be losing much money. Okay, you can maybe be frustrated because the market's not moving, but you're not going to actually be losing money if the line is flat, which of course doesn't last very long typically on most charts, and we're talking about day trading here, not swing trading. So again, I have to give the favor to futures on this one. The ability to straddle. This is something that I started doing with SPY options. For example, to give you an idea on this, let's say that you've bought a put because you think the value of the SPY is going down and you want to make money going down, but then there's a reversal and you don't think it's a big reversal, let's say, but it's gone beyond your stop loss. My example is around the 15-20% loss thing. I do what's called a straddle oftentimes. A straddle means that I can trade that option, I can trade the SPY in both directions and hold both directions simultaneously. That means I can hold a long and a short. Why would I do that? Okay, well, there's a way to make it work out, especially if you're trading like 5-day out options and you don't have to exit that trade till the next day. A lot of times you can use the next day volatility to get out of that straddle situation that's only about a 15-20% loss. When you do the straddle, you can use that straddle and hold it over for a day and use the volatility the next day to actually make a profit on both sides of the trade. Yep, done that. But with futures, you don't have that option. Okay, you don't have the ability to trade both long and short in the same account. I'm not going to let you do that. So for options, I think the favor is there. Scalping, to me personally, I enjoy scalping the futures, and I do quite a few trades per day scalping futures trades. Whereas if I'm trading the SPY, I will place probably a lot less trades that day because I'm using larger time frames a little bit and looking at longer trends on the options than I am typically on futures. That said, you can trade the futures contracts just the same way with the same pattern, the same setups as you do SPY. Okay, you can just transfer that right over. So if we look back, I've kind of favored futures, but personally I trade both. So I like both. Okay, I like, for different reasons. Like I said, I like to scalp the futures contracts, and I like to do more intraday swings sort of thing on SPY options. So now that we've said all that, now we've kind of got the criteria out there. Why is that important to you? Well, it's important to you because if the chart structure is the same, then you can look at one chart and trade two things. It's important to you because if you want more leverage in your trading, let's say your gains are not what you want to be or that you want them to be, then you can use options and futures if you learn how to trade them to kind of goose your earnings up every day. Even if you only trade an hour or two of those equity markets, then you can use that time and use those charts and use that leverage, to make some nice gains and kind of goose your earnings a little bit. The cost to get started for either one is very low, especially if you use proprietary trading links, which again I've got the video on that, but you can use that to keep the price of trading futures very low. And like I said, you can open up a options account for 500 or less probably. Trading the market context. Both of them are good for this. If you can understand the SPY chart and the market context, then that can also help you as you trade stocks during the day for intraday trading. So for example, when I'm leading my morning chat room where we trade the gaps, I'm looking at the SPY chart constantly to see where the areas of support and resistance are so that I can make a well-timed trade in stocks that coincides with the market context. So what traders need. So training on the basics of trading either the SPY options or the S&P 500 Futures, you need some training. You need some basic stuff. Of course, there's YouTube videos out there and stuff, and there's training available for different companies that you might do business with. A lot of people have training out there now, and they're going to give you the basics of how to do that, how to get the chart set up, that sort of thing. But you also need a proven system for trading the market structure. The market has a structure every day. It's different every day, but there are lines of support and resistance. There are overbought, oversold places on the chart that you can definitely look at, identify, and trade against in order to make a profit, and that includes both for options and for futures contracts. You need a visual guidance on support and resistance. If you're not used to trading support and resistance, then you probably need somebody to kind of walk you through it, not just read an ebook or whatever about it, but see it in action on the chart, see how somebody who has some experience identify those areas so that you can make money with it. Audio direction I think is great if you're trying to learn how to trade too, not just where you're trying to do it on your own, but you've got somebody actually coaching you, kind of sitting behind the charts, looking at the charts with you and describing what's happening on the charts so that you can take advantage of them. And I think that kind of audio guidance can be crucial for helping you to understand how to trade these two markets. You need a way to learn without it costing the down payment on a new house. Okay, so you could take very expensive courses from a lot of different people and walk away deciding that, well, you really don't know what you do and you might need 2 years experience before you even make a dime profit. Okay, you don't want to do that. You want to invest heavily in education without making some money along the way. So my idea, of course, that I recommend is you trade with somebody who has experience, and you listen to their system, you follow their system, you learn their system, so that you can make some profit pretty early on. Hopefully, after you've done some paper trading and proven yourself to be consistent, you can make some money while you're learning. So these are a couple of charts here from I have an afternoon chat room called the Afternoon SPY, and these are just some charts, some random charts. But what I want you to see is the amount of volatility here. This is the SPY moving about 4 points on this particular day, and pretty much a double in profitability, with the a single put contract costing $2.70 up here at the top, or 270, and then ending up at the day at 535. So nearly doubling your money one afternoon. That is highly unusual. That's not the standard way of doing things, all right? Just to be clear about that. But I wanted to show you an example. So I also want to show you an example. This is my 1 minute chart, and I am using what I've also talked about in one of my videos, which is conditional colored candles, which are the candles available from TC2000. So in my afternoon chat room, I'm using those 6 different gradations of red and 6 different gradations of green in order to help me trade the charts. And this is just the 1 minute chart here. Again, that's the 1 minute chart on a more bullish type day, and you can see the little movements that occur here. This again was a pretty volatile day. I think it was a Fed day, and yeah, we were open, we were trading it, and making some nice percentage gains, as you can see. And again, when it says 425, for example, on the chart, that's like the cost of the call contract on the option. But you can use that same area where I'm designating support and expecting price to move higher. You can use that same setup to trade the futures as well. Now, trend is not enough, right? Trend is not enough. Just because you know the direction is down on this chart, just because you know the direction is up on this chart, does not mean you know how to trade. Does not mean you know how to get into that trade, because like I said, if you get into the wrong point for either one, especially with options. Though, if your timing is not right, then you could be having time decay on that price of that option and be losing money until you gain money. So the real question for all traders is, when do I enter the trade at the point of least risk combined with the highest probability for success? What is that combination on the chart, and where is that? So one of the things I show in my afternoon SPY chat room are what I call 5-panel greens and 5-panel reds, and this is the chart layout that I actually show to the group live each afternoon. And you can see I've got little red blocks here and I've got little green blocks here. But if you look closely, what you'll see is there are 3 candles on the top and there are 2 indicators on the bottom. And when everything is red, as it is in that box there, then we've got a nice push down in order to trade futures short or in order to buy puts. And then when everything is green, like this 5-panel green block over here, it's pretty obvious when you look at it, when you stand back and just look, what's the color of the chart? What direction are we going? Where's the momentum? So you can kind of block those out there. So the afternoon SPY, like I said, is my afternoon chat room, and the rest of this video I'm going to offer you a little promotion for that service. So if you're not interested in my afternoon chat room, you can go ahead and shut the video down now. I won't spend a lot of time on this, but I do want to make an offer for you. For those people who are interested in trading with me, I have about 15 years experience trading. I've been leading chat rooms for almost that whole time, either in the morning and or in the afternoon with SPY options. So with the afternoon SPY, there are 2 great times for trading each day. The first hour trading, the last hour trading. Anybody can tell you that. During the middle of the afternoon, a lot of times you'll have more chop. You can have some big moves, but a lot of times it's just a lot of chop and stuff. So for 1 hour and 15 minutes each day, during the last hour and 15 minutes of trading, I share my charts, just the same kind of charts I've been showing you here, and I help you navigate the SPY charts so that we can day trade the SPY options, or we can trade the ES futures, either one, or micro ES futures, whichever one you want to be trading, E-minis, whatever. And I provide real-time analysis as we track one specific call or put, which you can easily translate to long or short future contracts as well. And that's what we do every afternoon, hour and 15 minutes every afternoon. So I'm asking myself as I'm putting this together, so how can I help those traders who don't have a lot of money or experience while also providing a service that amplifies your probabilities for success? So if you were to dig in with me for 1 month, just take 1 month and really dig into this, attend as many of the live sessions as you can, listen to my analysis, watch what I'm doing, okay, and then I'm going to provide a ton of videos, training for you, learn even more and more quickly. If you were to do that for 1 month, what would be the probabilities for success? And the probabilities, I think, are pretty high if you apply yourself. Can't guarantee anything, obviously. So a special offer that I'm offering, the Afternoon SPY monthly membership is normally $97, which is crazy cheap if you compare that to any other chat room that I know of out there. And so there's a link in the description box beneath this video if you're watching this video on YouTube that will give you a 1 month trial into the Afternoon SPY with no automatic renewal. It's just a 1 month, 1 month thing. No automatic renewal for just a one-time payment of $47, which is just crazy. For how much value you're going to get. And I'll go ahead and walk you through everything that you're going to get with that. You get daily access for 1 month to our live day trading sessions, in which I share my screens, track the options, prices. Access for 1 month to both the basic and the advanced video training. Daily recap every day for 1 month to the summary chart. I do a little summary chart where I show what happened and talk a little bit about it. It's in an email. And then there's also a link to that day's recorded session so that you can go back and actually review your trades, which is a great thing. You do a playback and instant replay and see what you did, when you did, look at the charts, look at the indicators, and learn my system as you trade my system. Okay, it's the whole idea. And then also on top of all that, for 1 month you get an all-day access, which is 9:30 to 4 access to my charts. I only do the audio commentary during that last hour and 15 minutes, but you can have access to my charts from 9:30 to 4 and listen to other traders or myself as we point out key areas of support and resistance. But the value of that, once you learn my system and you learn how to see the colors in the charts, and you learn about support and resistance, all that kind of stuff that I'm going to show you, then you can use those charts all day long to trade both SPY options and futures contracts. So pretty sweet deal, I think, for 47 bucks. But anyway, half off basically is what it is for one full month. You listen, you learn, you watch, you review your trades. So the question is, how much can you learn in 1 month if you really dive into this? And I think if you were to take it seriously for 1 month, if you've got the time to do that, and if you can, attend most of the sessions, even if you can't attend but half of them, the value I think is extreme. And just make an important note, I reserve the right to pull this offer at any point. Since this video is going up on YouTube, this offer may change. So just click the link that's below the video inside the description box there below the video. And if that link is live and gives you the opportunity to take this offer, then it's still live and I will honor it. Okay, but again, I reserve the right to pull it at any point. So I hope this video has been interesting to you. If you didn't know much about SPY options or trading the S&P futures, maybe I've answered a few questions for you. Maybe I've kind of revealed my bias a little bit, but like I said, I trade both. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, please subscribe, and check out the links if you would. All right, see you.